Long time no see. Yeah. I haven't made many videos lately. And as you can imagine, any um, any of my subscribers, long-term subscribers, of course, know that YouTube is going down the tubes, basically, and Comcast and all these other big corporations are taking over, basically, um, the internet, as we know it. So there's, in this sense, there's very little we can do to get our voices out on here, because it's all going into the bottom line of big corporations. And they really don't care about what we say as individuals on here on YouTube. The only thing they care about is money and the bottom line. So many of us saw this coming, and so henceforth, many of these people who saw it coming, including myself, are producing fewer videos, because it makes no sense in this sort of a paradigm. Lots of things going on, of course, and occasionally I'll still post videos on here, but essentially it is a non-winning proposition. You're competing with corporate giants here on YouTube. All they're after is corporate dollars, the bottom line, advertising dollars, and Google really it is about nothing else. Excuse me. About nothing else than feeding that bottom line to get those advertising dollars in, and to get individual voices out. In other words, YouTube isn't YouTube anymore. No, it actually never was YouTube. We all thought that. That was a brilliant scheme. Brilliant, I have to admit. Every one of us fell for it. And some people are still falling for it, I guess you can upload so many personal videos, so many non-disturbing videos. It's like a feel-good thing for everyone. Oh, look at look at this. Look at the next cat video. Look at the next cheerful video. Look at all the dancing videos. Look, basically what YouTube has turned into, and this is their, to their credit, this is what they tried to do in the first place. It's basically, it is basically becoming the new cable television. Okay. So you've got several tiers. If you want to see really quality programs on the internet via YouTube or Google or anything else, you're going to be paying a pretty high price for quality programs. And quality programs are out there, but you have to be able to pay for them. You have to be in the position to pay for them. And if you don't have the money, if you're just doing the basic tier thing, all you're going to get is crap. That's what you're going to get. So basically, this is what Google was after to start with, and they've got the monopoly now. Let's face it. I mean, the Europeans are pretty upset about it, because it violates so many privacy laws all over the place, with this whole conjunction of Google products all across the board. I mean, you may as well just sign up for the NSA to be just surveilled in every aspect of your life. Your email, your whatever. Your email, your phone calls, everything. Your social media and all this crap. And billions and billions and billions, trillions, there's no word for this. Everything, all the data you put out there electronically is going to be from now on simply collected and to be analyzed at some later point in time. You know, we've got supercomputers analyzing all the stuff. I mean, no human could do this. It's a brilliant invention, actually, but you know, no human can ever go through all the stuff. So it becomes, it gets to a point to where certain triggers are triggered for some reason or another. Most of them are, you know, politically motivated or financially motivated or whatever. And it's a gigantic, gigantic Tower of Babel. Okay? And I'd like to add here, I'm actually not a Christian. I don't have a religious belief system to start with. But it's interesting to witness how many people are just willing to fall into this and just go along with it, just happily. Especially the younger generation, because perhaps they're not aware how much harm can be done through this massive surveillance system that is being imposed upon us in every aspect of our lives, every aspect of it. Of course, there's a lot of things to talk about, and if you want me to continue with my more focused videos, you know, in terms of foreign policy and stuff like that, yeah, I'll go ahead and post a few of those. It's not like I'm exactly ignorant about these issues. I have a lot of things to say about it, but then of course, you know, it's all going into the data stream now. And if you even so much say that you're against certain policies, well, you'll probably end up in some dragnet somewhere. I do want to put out there that no matter what happens, okay, I do want to put out there that war with Iran would be a huge mistake. In fact, in my assessment, it could possibly trigger World War III. That's how serious it is. And most of us here in the United States have never, ever had our country invaded, have never faced any such thing. So it's easy to say, you know, oh yeah, well, you know, let's just go to war to go to war and make war on some other country. Again. All of this is a bunch of hubris. And, you know, it's not as if the United States is some exceptional nation. It's not. Our nation is very, very young in terms of history. And the problematic thing about all of this is that even as a young nation, we don't seem to learn from past history. In fact, we keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. In terms of this whole financial disaster going on, global finance and so on, eventually this whole edifice will collapse. It's just a matter of time. It may not happen within the next 2 or 3 years, but it will happen. There are answers out there. None of them are easy. They will affect us all. But we can't shut our eyes to this continuous hubris and this continuous warfare over who is going to win what and why and for what. I mean, okay, I'll wrap this up for right now because I want to stay focused. The human species is a very fallible species to start with, okay? We're not the wherewithal, and we should never think that we know everything, you know? And on the other hand, religious beliefs as such are basically a fairy tale as well, you know? It's like, yeah, if you put faith in too much non-proven things, then you're going to probably fall on your ass. It doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. It's just, I'm just saying, that's what happens. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll have some time to make more videos during the next few weeks or something. As a personal aside, I just I just lost my job. I worked for 10 years at that job, and yep, poof, it's all gone. So I'm joining the ranks of the unemployed in the United States, and perhaps I can give you a blowback on how that goes. It's a pretty scary situation for somebody at my age, 55, 56, whatever. So we'll see how that goes. But rest assured, there are many people who are far worse off than myself. And I was just making average wage, you know. Average. Totally average. Below average, probably. You know, the key to the whole thing is if you can't feel empathy for other people, not exactly in your own situation, somewhat different, you know, somewhat different. Everyone is different. We're not all unique, you know. We have something in common, but, you know, we have our, how to say this, we have our own life stories, uniqueness in some way. If you can't feel empathy for people who are not exactly like you, you're going to have a huge problem. A huge problem. So, I guess that wraps up my video for tonight. I've got much to say about this incident, this shooting incident in Afghanistan by this soldier. And it's really an extremely disturbing and tragic incident on all levels. So, I guess I'll see you later once I feel making another video on YouTube. again. And I don't know when that'll happen, really. I can't promise anything. Thanks for listening.